If you're usually feeling mentally exhausted or physically tired, there's a good chance that you're going through a burnout. Let's start by taking a look at how the dictionary defines burnout. It's defined as the reduction of a substance to nothing through use. How I've come to understand that in the context of our own mental and physical burnout is that we've been reduced to a shell of our former selves. In a previous video, I talked about the self-inflicted causes of burnout, and in today's video, we're going to be tackling the opposite of that, external causes of burnout. External burnout can often happen in the workplace, so if you're around the same age as I am, you know that this could be because of a mismatch of values, your own and the companies that you're working for. Another example of an external cause of burnout would be to be immersed in a negative community or a negative environment. And finally, what I personally think is the biggest contributor to external causes of burnout: social media. People in our generation have been in the workforce for about 8 to 10 years, I think. And so we've had time to really cultivate the kind of professional values and even some personal values that we have. And we've also had time to see whether the places that we work for and the people we work with have the same values as us. Any sort of mismatch in these values would cause a lot of stress for us. At best, it will make us unhappy when we go to work, and at worst, it can downright drive us insane and maybe even leave our jobs. When it comes to negative environments or negative communities, that's a little bit trickier because not all of us have the choice or option to physically remove ourselves from that environment. And when it comes to social media, that's a bit unavoidable. Our generation is, after all, the social media generation. Our lives pretty much revolve around our friends, family, and communities that are on social. I've gone through these myself, and so in today's video, I want to share with you 3 ideas on how to stop burnout from these external causes. To tackle the challenge of a burnout being caused by a mismatch of values, especially in the workplace, my recommendation would be for you to find allies within that space and also to voice out your concerns. Of course, we're all professionals here, so voice them out on the right channels, meaning either your immediate superior or your company's HR. Not everyone has the luxury of just packing up and leaving if there's a mismatch of values in the workplace, so that's why it's so important for you to look for your allies within that place. These allies of yours who might be feeling the same way are most likely people who have the same values as you are as well, and they will keep you sane if you just can't get up and leave. They will also provide much needed moral support for you when you need it. Voicing out your concerns becomes especially important when there's a mismatch of values, and it just gives you a peace of mind, the fact that you were able to do it. It's important that you voice out your concerns to the right bodies or the right individuals in your workplace. Otherwise, it might be seen as just spreading gossip. But if you reach a point where the stress is overwhelming and you simply cannot take it anymore, then the best course of action at that point in time would probably be to leave. To manage negative environments and negative communities that are causing you burnout, my recommendation would be to look for the opposite. Look for positive environments and positive communities, and you can find them online. For some of you, it could be a toxic home environment with your family. For others like me, it could be the mind-numbing effect of solo living. By looking for and joining more positive environments and communities, we give ourselves a bit of a breather. Online support groups could act as our own little bubbles of personal safe spaces. Weekly or even daily calls with our trusted friends and family could also be very beneficial for our mental health. And I think it's perfectly okay if we have multiple inner circles of friends. Maybe one for work and one for people that we know from childhood. And it's good to have these multiple circles of friends because we could be going through different things and we wouldn't want to be talking about a topic that other people might not be able to relate with. So having these multiple circles of friends that we trust and can spend time with could cover our bases. And having those people for you when you are in an environment that you cannot leave or escape from is super important for your own sanity. And to handle the stresses that's being caused by social media, my recommendation would be very simple. Unplug. Plan a social media fast for a while. Social media is a massive part of my life. I mean, it was my career for almost 8 years. So I totally get it that it's so hard to step away and to just unplug. But a social media fast doesn't have to be so long or very difficult. You could unplug for an hour a day. Trust me, an hour is very doable. Or you could go as long as a whole weekend or several days. The idea is to remove ourselves from the anxiety that's being caused by notifications, alerts, and just the general fear of missing out from what's happening with our friends in the world. There are very few things that we're going to miss out on if we just take an hour off social media per day. The world doesn't revolve around our notifications. And believe me, if something was truly important that you should know about, a friend of yours or a family member is going to send you a text message or call you up. Every day, I practice a 2-hour social media fast. In these 2 hours, I will keep my phone in my bedroom, locked away, and I am not going to be looking at any notifications on my laptop. I decided on a 2-hour window because it's long enough to train myself to not look for notifications, but also short enough to be manageable and so I don't miss out on a lot of news happening out there. My work is, after all, involving social media. So there you have it, 3 ways to stop burnout caused by external sources. Let me know your thoughts on how you stop burnout from external causes. Drop a comment below. If you found this video useful, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. My name is Jason and thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time and I hope you're better today.